On today's episode of Why Am I Riding a Pedal Car Floating in the Air? Or on today's episode, weird things I find on Marketplace that I should probably leave alone, but can't control myself. It's gotta be a good title in here, so my shenanigans are pretty shenanigy, and I found something on Marketplace that I think has the potential to be a lot of fun. The person quit talking to me, but the ad is still up. So we're hoping it's still gonna be there. We're gonna find out. All right, in the excitement, I went right by it. Yes. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. All right, so I got it loaded in. It's actually fairly light. This is a kit that you buy. The woman told me, you buy this kit and you build this thing. But the sprocket has broke. 2 people can pedal it. Something about the sprocket is broke. And her husband tried to fix it. No idea what he was doing. It actually shifts gears, and I wonder if it just needs to be simplified. Oh my gosh. I've got so many ideas going on in my brain on how I put this back together and hopefully even make it better. So this thing is absolutely fantastic, and I think I can make any changes I want to fairly easily. But first, we just got to figure out how to make it work, and I'm excited. Well, as we can see, I completely lost the roof. Oh, this is neat. I got a lot of thinking and figuring to do, and we'll absolutely have to replace the roof. It must have just been sitting there, so now I feel sort of bad because I don't like to be a litter bug. Hope I didn't bend it the way I dropped it there. Oh, yep, I broke it. Already broke it. You know, Ryan, this is why we can't have nice things, because you do stupid stuff like that. All right, we will fix it. And looks like, yep, it snapped on both sides. You know, my first thought is just to run a metal pipe through there and make sure that I can Ryan-proof it. That side's good. That side's good. Okay. Note to self, don't drop it off the back end of a truck again. Let's just admire this a little bit more. So my thought was, where I broke this off, I could remove that and I would slide this piece through and kind of run some bolts to hold it together and pull everything back tight, and that would give me a little bit of bracing. And then I realized real quick I couldn't go very far. There's a metal pipe that runs clear through there. So that's pretty awesome. That gives you a lot of rigidity going across there, not going that way. So now we're back to, how do I put this back together without completely disassembling it and rebuilding it? What are your thoughts? So if you didn't know, I am one of those dads that, hey, we need to save this. I might need it one day. I saved this piece of a metal closet pole because one day I might need it. So here's the piece I broke. So what I'm thinking is, that goes in there. I put a bolt on the inside, a bolt out here on the outside, and that's gonna hold that solid together, right? Now I can put this back together the way it was. And then once I get all this back together, I'll show you what else I saved, because one day I might need it. 3 of these, just laying around, not doing nothing, minding their own business. I'm gonna use those. We'll come back to that. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use those, so we'll probably come back to that. Unless we don't, we'll see. So after a trip back to the hardware store, I've got that metal piece now lodged in the middle. It's bolted down. This is up where it needs to be. It's all back together. It's nice and tight. It seems sturdy. I'm thinking about other ways to brace it up. Of course, now that I made it this far, I wondered what would it be like if a 2-inch piece of PVC covered that whole thing along with all that, just for more rigidity. And that's a thought I may keep in my mind. But I'm gonna start working on the other side and get this sucker figured out. And if you're never quite sure how to fix something, the best thing I can tell you to do is just start working on it. You'll figure it out. At least that's kind of how it works out for me. All right, back to work. And well, that's what I did. I found a 2-inch piece of PVC that I had. So now we have the 1-inch metal in the middle. We have the original piece that broke. Now I have the 2-inch piece that covers it completely from clear here to the outside. And I feel pretty good about it. I'm still kicking around the idea of maybe a brace across the top or underneath that goes clear across and connects in the middle somehow. But for now, I'm feeling pretty good about this fix. Well, it is another beautiful morning. The sun is shining bright straight into my eyeballs. I got coffee, and we're gonna see if we can get some more done on this pedal car. I stayed up till about 10:30 last night messing around with it. And of course, you know, yesterday was Friday. It was a work day. We went and bought mulch for the flower beds, and you know, we're gonna try to do that today and work on the garden. So while she's making sausage gravy and biscuits, I know, wonderful, right? I'm gonna see what I can get done with this thing. Glad to have you along for this adventure. So, kind of thinking about what to do here, and thought, well, while I'm thinking about it, let's see how many inner tubes I'm gonna have to get. It's these tires are super dry rotted. Let's at least see if the tires hold air. Well, it's taking air. That's a good sign. These say that you can go to 40 PSI, which is so funny to me that these little tires, but anyways, it's a whole science thing. And I don't even want to pretend like I understand it. The main thing today, are these inner tubes any good? Because if they are good, if they're gonna hold air, I'm gonna let them. If they would hold air, I will just let them until they don't anymore, because getting these off is not super easy from what I'm seeing. This one needs replaced, and I gotta buy some inner tubes, it looks like. On to the next. Here's how the tires went. This one took 35 pounds of air and it's holding. This front one, nothing. This rear one started taking air, and at about 18 pounds it said no thank you and gave up. So the front one started taking air, and at 35 pounds it shut off. I was like, cool, I'm gonna have 2 tires. Nope. As soon as I walked away, it said pfft. I better just go ahead and get 4 inner tubes, and while I'm at it, start sourcing some tires, because these are bad. They're so dry rotted. And here's the other thing I'm thinking about this PVC. So we know now that the long stretch has got metal and it's covered in PVC, and the rest is just PVC. PVC is kind of cool because it's easy to work with. You can shape it, you know. But if it breaks anymore, if this breaks again, I think I'm gonna pin the PVC with some self-tapping screws, cut it off of the metal, and I'm just gonna weld the metal axle across it. I dreamt that up last night, going to bed, and thought, ideally that'd be the best way if this was just metal. Maybe once I get this going, I will use this as a guide to make one out of metal, like some trampoline frames or something. I think it's possible. I could get some old bikes, and yeah, it's really busy up here, and I have 0 time for any of this, so I've got to shut up and get busy working. So the gal I got this from, one of the problems she said that it had was the sprocket, and it needed a new sprocket. And when I look at it, I don't see anything. It looks fine. The teeth are good. It seems straight. What I noticed at first was there was no way to adjust the tension of the bike chain. just messing around with it last night, working on repairing this brake, I realized these are put on with pipe straps in order to slide it, so that's your tension adjuster. So I've sprayed with some WD-40. Fun fact, the WD stands for water displacement. I don't remember what the 40 stands for. Someone will, and they'll tell me. Yeah, gonna get these loosened, get this chain a little bit tighter, get these inner tubes replaced, see what's gonna get this sucker going again. So I think we're starting to get somewhere. I've adjusted this forward probably a good couple inches. This seems tighter. It's still not exactly wanting to stay on there, but it's so rusted and stiff. If I go slow, it tracks. So this may have some bent sprockets. So some chain lube. See if we can get this sucker loosened up. I did order new tires. They'll be here Monday. I did get blue because I found a deal. I could get 2 tires with 2 inner tubes for $13. The sprocket does look a little weird, but what I notice is it's staying on, and that's what we want. That makes me happy, and it should make you happy too. Pardon all the chain lube. It must be bent because if you look right there, it looks like it wants to come off. There it tracks good. And then right there. So either those are bent or the chain's not quite right. I'm not real sure. So I'm gonna have to play with this some more. But I'm gonna have to probably be done pretty soon for today because I need tires and inner tubes, and I gotta get on to gardening. Looks like there's something else I need to fix. All right, well, the shifter's shifting. The sprocket's staying on even though I can see it's not quite right. This is the first time I've pedaled it, and I'm 6 foot, maybe a little more than 6 foot, and so moving the pedals forward was a big help for me. I don't think I could have pedaled at all. I don't know who's going to be able to ride with me. It's tight. I think we're getting somewhere. Seems like the more I mess with it, the better it works. The sprocket is bent, but the chain's not coming off. I also don't have it under pressure. So there are just a lot of considerations, and I'm so glad the shifter's working because I was totally going to take it to a single sprocket tire. If it didn't work, I wasn't even going to screw with it. I was just going to put a single sprocket tire and be done. But this is pretty cool. This brake works, this tire holds there, nothing else does. So my shenanigans are pretty shenanigy.